Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Drew, and today I'm going to show you how we built this deck that's 9 feet by 32 feet on our new house that we're self-contracting ourselves. So if you haven't subscribed already, think about doing that so you don't miss out on any future house project videos that we make. But if you want to see how this deck was made, stick around. So the first thing I did was I took the posts out that the framers put under here to support the roof, and I cantilevered some other posts out because I need to get under here and dig my holes for the post that's going to be for the deck and also support the roof. So the first thing we're going to do is lay out for those holes. So that now all the holes are dug, I made these little boxes out of scrap 6x6s that are about 14 by 14. I'm gonna sit them over the hole, and I've already measured, I've already done these two. Measured from the wall to the outside is 115 inches. Already did the same thing. Now I'm gonna drive these stakes in either side and level it out and then fill it full of concrete. So the first thing I did was measure under here about 2 inches, because I want about 2 inches gap from the top of the decking to this, where I'll put a piece of like trimmed out hardy board that will go under there. So I marked me a line, and then I went down 8 1/4 to account for the 2x8 and the decking that will go on top. Marked that line, and I used my level and got me a line. So then I took this on here, and this is the drip cap that's going to go under the ledger. So I put it on the line first, and now I'm going back and checking to make sure that it's level and nailing in the rest of it. So the next thing we need to do is this pilling stick to go over the top of this, all the way around, so that water will run down and run off of this. I'm gonna try my best to do this in one giant piece, just because I think that makes less seems like that would be just a better option. So. Time to put the ledger board onto the wall, and after lots of research on the YouTubes, something that a lot of people do is they take a circular saw and cut little slots, you know, about every foot on the board, in case water does happen to get between the ledger and the wall. Those little grooves help it get shed down to the drip cap rather than getting trapped. First thing we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and attach it some with these to hold it in place, then come back with the big screws. So since this is a corner, we're only keeping basically this inside piece. All this is going to be cut away. So first thing I'm doing is just mark it out, and I'll make my different cuts and then use the Sawzall to cut it all the way through, since my circular saw won't do that. So I got to cut the rabbet for the posts for the beam. So I took this board and, if I can pick the sucker up, made a little ledge so that it rests flush. Now that it's clamped, I can put the level on it, try to figure out where the level is. So that needs to go up a little higher. Now that's perfectly level and it's flush with the top. So I can make my mark here and do this to all 4 posts. The rabbets are cut. Now it's time to add the beam. So I only cut a rabbet deep enough for 1 2x8, and then the other 2x8 will be on the outside. So let's add the first one, and then we'll come back and add the second one. Okay, so this is a little tip from Kyle from RR Buildings. When you got these different sizes, different heights, drive you a nail into the low end, and then we're going to take it, push it down till it's flush, and then drive your nails. Thanks, Kyle. So since this beam is just sitting here flush with this, and it's not actually resting on anything, I just have bolts coming through. For extra support, I'm gonna use these brackets, and I'm gonna stick them right here. So if you've ever used these brackets before, they have these little tabs right here that can be nailed in to help you out. So you're gonna put them up under it. It's easier if you just, instead of trying to squeeze both, just push one edge all the way over. Hammer this in, and then squeeze, I know y'all can't really see this, then squeeze the other one and nail it in. And that's just like temporary just to help you, but now you want to drive in the actual nails. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do since I'm got 10-foot boards, but I'm having to cut everything down just under 9. I have a lot of scrap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a block like this, my nail gun, and just stick one right there on both ends. Now what we do is we find our mark, and theoretically, we should be able to drop this in. Okay, everybody, so I wanted to tell you real quick. That method is, you can do it that way, but it was taking me too long, so I did like 2 of them that way. And then after I just started cutting them, sticking in there, toenailing them from the top, and then if they shot down too low, I'd hammer them back up. Once I got them level with the top, then I would put the braces on. That way was way quicker than cutting all those blocks and attaching them to every single one and doing all that. So if you want to do it with the blocks, you can. If not, just stick the boards in there, toenail them, and then put the brackets in there. It's actually a lot easier. It's just a little cumbersome trying to hold that 9-foot board up on both ends to do that. But let's get back to the action. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do the end board. I've gone ahead and measured it and cut it. It's gonna go flush with the outside of the beam and cover up the ledger. So right now I'm gonna attach it with nails and come back and add the metal brackets in there as well as the lag bolts on the outside. Okay, so now it's time to do the decking, and I went ahead and put one board on just because I can see how it's going to work out. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay this board on here and line it up for my posts, and go ahead and make my marks, make how deep, because I'm going to have an inch overhang, and cut out for the posts. I have to do that on the first 2 rows, and then after that everything should be pretty easy. Okay, so now we're going to start on the second row, and if you remember, we just cut a 12-footer in half to get that last 6-inch piece, and now I brought the cutoff over here, put it against the wall, measured it that it lines up onto a joist, and I cut it off. I'm going to butt these up together. I know a lot of people want gaps and stuff, but this wood, we've had a lot of rain in the last week. It's been sitting on the trailer and it is soaking wet. So it's gonna shrink. I made a table, if you saw that video a couple months ago, where I made an outdoor bar height table out of the same material, and I butted them up together, and now they have like a 1/2-inch gap between them. So I don't want to start with a little gap and then get to be a bigger gap. So we're gonna butt them all the way up against each other, and then when they dry out a little bit, because they are, it's a 5.5 board, but they're actually 5 5/8 already. So they will shrink up and give me that little bit of gap. So for now, no gap. Let's nail this one down. Okay, so a little tip, some of these boards, or probably the majority of these boards, are not completely straight. So like they're touching here and they're touching there, but in the middle, let's see, like these 3, maybe 4, it's slightly bent. So I take my clamp, then I'll just squeeze that gap a whole lot closer, and then put the nail. Okay, everybody, so I hope you like this video. As you can see, it is hot out here and I am sweating, but that's what happens in August in Georgia. But I hope you like this video of this deck build. It's the first deck I've ever built. I think it turned out awesome. Really loved how I did the 6x6s from the concrete, footers all the way to the roof. I liked how that turned out. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so you can keep up with every house project I got going on right now. I don't know when it will be, but sooner or later I'll have another video showing the railing and some steps for this porch. So I don't know when that's gonna come, so I don't wanna tell you exactly, but click that thumbs up button and the bell notification so you know when that happens. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.